Welcome back to Shipfaced, everybody, for part 3 of Queen Elizabeth II's iconic, historic story. Out of respect for the passing of this ship's namesake, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, I took a break, briefly, but we are now back in service. For this spectacular model of Queen Elizabeth II, and for other ship models, head to the Facebook model company Yestertoys via the link in my description. Even after the added expense of Queen Elizabeth II's major overhaul and refit in 1972, by 1978 she was already breaking even with only an occupancy of 65%, generating revenues for Cunard of over £30 million per year, which is especially impressive when you remember that jetliners have already come into the scene here, and a lot of people are choosing them over traditional ships. And for a while, it seemed as though all QE2 would know is success, fame, and attention. Until, of course, fate came knocking yet again in her history. On April 2nd, 1982, as a group of Argentinian Navy vessels, including a submarine, invaded and attacked the British territory of the Falkland Islands. The Iron Lady, Britain's first female Prime Minister, had much to say about that.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the House meets this Saturday to respond to a situation of great gravity. We are here because for the first time for many years, British sovereign territory has been invaded by a foreign power.
On May 3rd, 1982, QE2 was called to duty. Shortly after, and much like her predecessors, she was given an extensive overhaul to become a troop ship. Many of her luxurious fittings, including the swimming pools on the aft decks, were replaced with flight decks to allow for helicopters. In preparation for her war service, they transformed the public lounges into dormitories or war offices, reinforced a quarter of the ship's length with additional steel plating, installed an anti-magnetic coil to combat naval mines, and installed extra piping down the ship to allow for refueling at sea. On May 12, 1982, QE2 departed Southampton carrying 3,000 troops from the 5th Infantry Brigade, as well as 650 volunteer crew from Cunard line. She at first initially sailed out of Southampton with only one of her 3 boilers in operation. However, as she continued steaming, the boilers were repaired and she was brought back up to full steam. During the voyage, the QE2 was accompanied by the Australian troop ship Canberra, and QE2 was blacked out and the radar was switched off in order to avoid detection, as there were rumors of a coming bombing raid. Successfully, QE2 delivered all 3,000 of her troops, until finally, on June 11th, 1982, peace and victory was declared. When QE2 returned to Southampton water, the Queen Mum boarded the Royal Britannia yacht to greet the ship as she entered the harbor, and conveyed a message of gratitude for the ship and crew and their service in this war. To which the captain of QE2 responded, "Thank you for your kind message. Cunard's Queen Elizabeth II is proud to have been of service to Her Majesty's forces." The atmosphere was truly euphoric, celebrating the great victory that Britain had experienced recently with the Falkland Islands, and tens of thousands of spectators cheered the ship on. With her wartime service complete, QE2 was given a conversion back to ocean liner duties and was given a new paint scheme. The traditional Cunard red was applied to the funnel for the first time in her career thus far. Her hull was given a light pebble gray coat of paint, which not only proved unpopular, but also showed every ounce of rust. QE2 was promptly returned to her traditional livery of federal gray. 2 years later, a small minor adjustment was added to the Queen, adding additional balcony cabins on the top deck, as well as a magrodome, a sliding glass roof over her Lido deck pool. It's the mid-1980s, and Queen Elizabeth II is still being run by steam. So, Cunard, with an incredible engineering team, decided to give their ship the world's most technologically intense overhaul in history. Stay tuned next weekend to find out what that is, unless you already know, in which case, comment down below. Alright everybody, that's it for part 3. Stay tuned for part 4. And also, like I keep saying, stay tuned for my 1-year anniversary celebration coming soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching. See you next time.